Hi, my name is Kevin Jones from Pluralsight, and this is the Creating a Release Branch chapter of the Using Gitflow class. So in this chapter, we'll see how we create a release branch. Remember that release branches contain the code that's going to go out in this release. So they'll contain all of the features up to the point of this release. We use similar commands for the release branch as we have for a feature branch. So we create the release branch and we finish the release branch. And when we finish the release branch, those changes are merged into master, and master is then ready to go. There's one important point to cover here as well, though. Once we have the release branch, that release branch has to be tested. Now that might be testing done by the dev team, it might be testing done by a separate QA team. However, we might, and I guess it's likely, that we'll find bugs on that branch. So any bugs on the release branch have to be fixed in the release branch and also have to be merged back into develop so that any future feature branches will pick up those fixes. And we'll see how we do that in this chapter. So what is a release branch? It's a point in time where a release is ready. Now, it might be in your organization, you create releases every 2 weeks, you might create releases every month, you might create releases when a certain set of features is done, or you might create releases on an ad hoc basis. But at the point you decide to create a release, it's at that time you create the release branch. At this point, the release branch is tested. Now I've said here we pass the release branch to QA. That could be an external QA team, or it could be an internal QA process. But there's some quality assurance process that goes on that branch before it is pushed out to be available to the public. And as we said, any fixes that are done must be done on the release branch and merged back into the develop branch. If you remember back to chapter 1, we had this picture, and the circles in the blue color show the work on the release branch. So where the box is, we created a release branch at this point. The second blue circle shows a fix that was done on that release branch, and that fix has to be merged back into develop, as well as the release branch finally being merged up to master.